Timmy, do you read me?
There you are! I was worried you forgot about me. So, how'd it go with the gods? Did Rytlock behave?
Mostly. And it was God, singular. Cormyr was the only divine being we found, and now she's gone too. On her way out, she pretty much told us we're on our own against Balthazar.
Ouch! How did Kaz take that?
Better than you'd expect. Cormyr told us we had to find answers on our own. So that's what we're going to do. We've split up to search the desert for something, anything, that can help us against Balthazar.
That doesn't spell plan to me. That's just the letter P, scrawled on a rock, in pink chalk.
Maybe I should ask a genius to come up with something better. Oh, wait. I just did. Your thoughts, genius?
Well, give me a minute. You can't rush inspiration, you know.
Oh, I know. How's Aurene?
According to Kaith, restless. Aurene keeps trying to fly. Takeoff and landing are still a challenge, but... Well, she's actually getting pretty good at it. You know, in short bursts around the interior of the egg chamber. But it's not fun playtime flight. From what Kaith says, it's more Sparkfly trying to break out of a killing jar flight.
Well, keep her calm. And don't let her go exploring by herself. The last thing we need is to lose track of her.
Noted. I'll pass that along to Kaith, too. We'll do our best.
And don't antagonize Kaith.
Say again? Breaking up. No promises. Define antagonize. Ding! Time's up.
Ah, Commander. A little bird told me you and your friends went on a pilgrimage to the Mists. I am pleased and a little surprised to see that you survived the journey. What can I do for you?
We're combing the desert in search of... something.
You're in luck. I have loads of something. You're welcome to peruse it at your leisure. This is the part where you clarify your statement and tell me what you're actually looking for.
What do you know about the Riverlands? Are there any peculiarities I should know about?
Well, there's a lot of history in those parts. Kind of history that attracts treasure hunters. Occasionally, one would pass through the Grand Sahil on their way south. Eyes alight with visions of gold and glory.
Did they find anything?
Don't know, I'm afraid. But I know someone who might. A Derman Priory scholar stationed out that way. Name of Gluck. If anybody can point you in the right direction, it'd be him. Good luck.
All right. Now where do I start? Maybe a scout can point me in the right direction.
You! A quick word before you proceed. This is no place for the ill-prepared. The followers of Ascension are constantly seeking different methods to reach Ascension. Follower Zune and his golem collect forgotten glyphs in hopes of decoding their secrets. Follower Dawnwind fights to clear Augury Rock of the Branded in an effort to further her legend. And follower Adisa searches for slivers of Last for follower Lucius Anvilblade to weaponize. At Augury's Shadow are several other Tyrians who have come to seek Ascension. West of there is the first camp, where you'll find followers that were here before the Tyrians arrived. Far to the south are refugees from Joko's kingdom. They may know of other places of power.
You there! You don't look busy. I require your assistance.
And I require yours. I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Well, that's awfully rude. Cutting right to the chase, huh? Your chase, I mean.
If you'd like my help, some information might put me in the mood.
My experience with such matters is strictly scholarly. I've got better things to do than chase myths. So, no. Try Augury's Shadow. Someone there might be able to help you.
Augury's Shadow? I'll check it out. Thanks.
Wait. I gave you information. Now, what about my plight?
It'll have to wait. But perhaps I'll see you later.
Oh, I hate this.
Ah, new arrival. Come to help the followers of Ascension? We could use a pair of hands like yours.
Maybe later. For now, I need information. I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Vlast. Only that he's from here, but that's about it. That's all I know. I'm new here.
It's no problem. So am I.
You know, come to think of it, follower Adisa knows more about Vlast than any of us.
You...
I'm afraid not. But I had a question for you. I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Well, Vlast was born here. If the place you seek is in the Riverlands, I would hope it has something to do with him. Pilgrims came from all over Tyria to see him. The Elders used to direct wayward travelers to follow the river. Check out the camp west of here. The folks there might know more.
Have you come to join us in the search for Ascension?
Maybe later. For now, I need information. I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
What's that mean? Special significance?
For the purposes of our discussion, it means really interesting.
But that could be anything around here.
Tell me about it.
Didn't you see someone with the Derman Priory the other day? What were they looking for?
Oh, that's right. A bunch of Asura came to the Riverlands. I met one of them. He was mean, but really smart.
His name is Glock. He's a bit impatient, but he knows a lot about the area. He came through this way asking vague questions, like you are now. Perhaps he'd be willing to share what he learned.
Ah! Don't you dare sneak up on me like that! You can get yourself killed doing that in a place like this. I'm far more dangerous than I look, you know. I'm sorry. This place has me a bit on edge.
I'll wear a bell next time. You're with the Priory, aren't you? I need information.
Concerning...
I'm searching the desert for... something.
I need more?
A place of special significance. Possibly related to the dragon Vlast.
You're not working with much, are you? These lands are rich with history, so that could be any number of... Wait, Vlast, you said?
Yes. Anything come to mind?
Well, since my arrival, I've heard mention here and there of an ancient lost city somewhere in the Riverlands. A hub of forgotten activity, where it was before the fall, anyway. Supposedly, Vlast was born there. If you're looking for, how'd you put it, a place of special significance, the lost city certainly fits the bill.
Sounds like you know a lot about it. Any idea where I can find it?
No idea. Hence, heard mention here and there. All I've gathered on the topic is rumor and conjecture.
A lost city. That must be what we're looking for. I'd better check with the locals. Excuse me. I'm in need of information. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
Lost city? How do you lose a city?
Just answer the question, please.
Once I lost my favorite journal. Looked everywhere for it, and I never did find it. But you know what I did find?
Please say a lost city.
Every single left sock I had ever misplaced. I swear, if it's not in the last place you look, it's... well, elsewhere.
Fantastic. I need to go now.
Something you need, Wayfarer?
Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
Only in stories. Supposedly it was where Vlast was born, but it's long gone now.
What happened to the city?
Joko happened. When he redirected the river to lay claim to this region, he ravaged the entire desert. Those stretches of quicksand are his doing, as was his sinking of the city. According to legend, I mean.
Excuse me. I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
What about the Forgotten City? The Forgotten were really interesting. They took care of Last since he was born.
Sounds like you know a lot about it.
I'll place a message.
Any idea
in
where I
Red
can
Drop.
find it?
He's our contact at Amnoon. I don't know what to do.
What about the river folk? Suppose they might
Follow
know?
the moon to
Oh,
Amnoon.
yeah! Go ask the river folk.
You'll find them south of here, settled along the riverbank. They'll know more about the story.
Excuse me. Do you have business with Elder Muriel?
I'm searching the Riverlands for something important. I've been canvassing the area in search of information.
She does love visitors, but you should know something. Muriel's very old, and her answers are not always clear. Please be patient with her, and try to speak up. Her hearing isn't what it used to be.
Ah, and who are you? I don't know your face, but I like it.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I was hoping I could ask you a question. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
A city swallowed whole by the desert itself. Kesho, yes.
Kesho? Is that the name of the city?
City? No, a nursery, where the Forgotten toiled, where Vlast's eyes first opened, where Glint gave us her legacy.
I need to find Kesho, Elder Muriel. Can you tell me where it is?
A terrible journey across terrible lands, beyond the sinking dunes.
I see. Thank you. Kesho. Vlast's birthplace. Now I just have to find it. I have another question for you. I'm searching for a lost city called Kesho. What do you know about it?
Kesho. Ah, yes, that's the name. Vlast's birthplace. Swallowed by the desert, according to legend.
Any idea where it's supposed to be?
If it exists, it'll be out there, in the wastes beyond the quicksand. A dangerous place to go on foot. If you intend to travel there, you'll want to make a stop at the skimmer camp west of here. The proprietor there has been selling skimmers to adventurers for years.
Years? You must see a lot of treasure hunters come through this way.
A great many, all searching for the treasures of the lost city. And to my knowledge, none have returned. You'd be wise to keep that in mind, stranger. If you journey that way, make sure to bring your skimmer along. You look like you can handle yourself, but the desert eats the unwary. Remember that.
I'm searching for a lost city called Kesho. What do you know about it?
Kesho? It's been a while since anybody's asked me about Kesho. How'd you come across that name?
With great difficulty, I promise you. What can you tell me about it?
You're different from the others. Maybe you are after something more than riches and glory. If Kesho truly exists, you'll find it to the northwest of here, where it was claimed by the desert. If you head that way, you'll want to bring your skimmer along. Otherwise, the desert will claim you too.
When we get moving again, how can we avoid the Forged?
We'll have to head east. Hopefully we're far enough north to avoid the Awakened.
But at least the Forged left us alive. Are you sure risking a run-in with the Awakened is better?
I honestly don't know. But if nothing else, Augury Rock should offer better cover than open desert. Besides, we'll have to head through Destiny's Gorge anyway to get to Amnoon.
I'm searching for a lost city called Kesho. What do you know about it?
Kesho? Where have I heard that name before?
Whatever happened to that adventurer we ran into last year? Wasn't he looking for some kind of lost city?
Oh, that's right. That was the fellow. He swore up and down he'd found a legendary lost city. and he asked us to join his search for a cut of the treasure.
What happened to him? Where'd he go?
See the fissure to the north? He ventured into the caves beneath it, and that was the last we saw of him.
Did anyone go with him?
With so many branded in the area, we know better than that.
Shame the adventurer didn't.
Forgotten statues. And they seem to be guarding that pit. Could this be the place? Here's something that could be a console, but it looks dead.
Huh. Probably needs a power source. Look around for a crystal or anything bright and shiny.
Something about this Exalted. It's moving, so it's alive, but it's not responding to my presence.
Wait, not responding? Poke it with something. No, wait. Don't. That's poor research etiquette. Well, maybe just a light poke? Ugh! I want to be there!
I know the Exalted in Tarir use these pedestals to sleep and recharge, but this is different. This is more like living death, and they have this red glow.
They're glowy red Exalted? Ugh! I want you to poke it so bad!
I am not going to poke the Exalted for you, Taimi. These pedestals are dark. No lights, no sound. Nothing.
Maybe the power's shut off. Look for a way to turn it back on.
Found a glowing crystal. And a dead body.
Ugh, hope the crystal's not what killed the body. Only one way to find out. Pick it up!
Okay, the power's on.
What was that noise?
A door just opened. There's another Exalted inside. Not red like the others. Looks dormant, but maybe I can wake it.
No! Did Balthazar send you a Joko? I will defend this sacred ground with my life!
Wait, I'm a friend.
We don't like Balthazar either. The commander's on a mission to stop him. Bast is the only clue we've got.
What have you done? The pedestals are reviving the Forged!
The glowy red ones are forged? Good thing you didn't poke them.
You claim to owe Balthazar no allegiance. Prove yourself. Destroy his creation.
Balthazar's the reason I'm here. He's working to kill Kralkatorrik, and we're trying to stop him.
I wish you'd come sooner. Balthazar was here recently with that wretched Lich Joko.
Apparently, I'm the chosen champion and protector of Glint's second scion, Aurene.
If you've been entrusted with the role of the Scion's protector, then it would be my honor to assist you. I am Sada Z. Welcome to Kesho. What you see is what's left of the Forgotten's first attempt to pacify the Elder Dragons. It failed. This site was abandoned, but a few of us remained as its caretakers.
Why were Balthazar and Joko here?
They came seeking the forgotten magics that imbue battle armor with living spirits, the same that created the Exalted. They quickly discovered they could use those magics to create these abominations, the horrors they call Forged. The Red Exalted you fought were the results of their early experiments on us, left behind as mindless sentries. In the chaos, I sealed myself in that chamber to avoid the fate of the others.
That was smart. Now you can help us make sure Balthazar doesn't succeed.
Balthazar thought he destroyed the information you seek, but the sentries he left behind were actually protecting it.
What do you mean?
The pedestals!
Your invisible friend is correct. I can reveal the secrets contained in any pedestal you choose.
Glint was the key. She was perfect for our purposes. A scion of an elder dragon, and a crystal dragon herself, with a mind of her own. We did our work well. Glint actively rejected Kralkatorrik, and she brought forth more scions to join our cause.
That was Josso Escher, one of the Legacy's main architects. Sadly, he was lost in the attempt to convert Kralkatorrik.
Wait. Convert Kralkatorrik?
Yes. The Forgotten dared to try. But the hunger of Elder Dragons is too strong. It proved a tragic failure. More of your questions can be answered by consulting the other pedestals.
The most important lesson an Exalted must learn is, though Elder Dragons are unimaginably powerful, they can be killed. Each has a distinct flaw. Mordramoth, for example, dominates thought. But its most powerful asset, its mind, is also its greatest liability. Kralkatorrik's unique strength, its power to crystallize objects, is also its singular weakness. Its creations share a fundamental resonance that connects them back to the Crystal Dragon and makes them vulnerable to each other.
A fundamental resonance that makes them vulnerable. Whoa, so that's why Balthazar was after Vlast. He needed a scion of Glint to kill Kralkatorrik. But Vlast's gone now, so that means... Wait, there's one thing I don't understand. If Glint and the Forgotten knew what killing an Elder Dragon would do to Tyria, why would they rear Vlast and Aurene?
The answer is locked behind that door. If you're done with the pedestals, we can proceed.
Kesho is supposed to be my home, but it's more of a cage or a tomb. I prefer the open sky. I feel trapped here. This place reminds me that I cannot act, no matter how eager I am. Not until the full legacy is ready. That's Vlast.
We encouraged him to record his thoughts for reference and posterity. He didn't contribute often, and was never glad to do it.
I believe it. He sounds super frustrated and restless. Like a genius progeny suffering through Intro to Golomancy.
I can't stand it any longer. The constant talk of duty and destiny, the forced reverence. It disgusts me, enrages me. My exalted attendants are durable,
but still mortal, insignificant. They quake with fear at the slightest angry hiss. I have a job to do, and the power to do it. They can't help me. Why do they pretend they can?
Sadly, Vlast matured in isolation. We didn't know how to socialize him properly until it was too late. By the time we realized Vlast needed to bond with mortal races as Glint had, he no longer could, nor cared to.
Z and the others tell me I must wait. That before the real work begins, the whole legacy must ripen and mature. I am ready now. Kralkatorrik continues to grow in power, and my mother's death stands unavenged. But I am my mother's son. I will wait. I will serve the glorious purpose she and the Forgotten set for me. Though the snakes and their golden servants speak as though it is their purpose, and Glint merely lent it her name. So in her name, I will act. Until the full legacy is ready, I will contain Kralkatorrik and cull its branded horde. Intruder! You can't beat us all!
Curious. The door isn't responding. It must have been damaged during Joko and Balthazar's attack.
You're in luck because the commander is good at smashing things.
I feel...
Please, step inside. The millennia-long Elder Dragon cycle is one of feast and famine. Ravenous they rise, sated they sleep. Glint and the Forgotten set out to break this cycle of extremes and to restore true balance. But when two Elder Dragons were unexpectedly eliminated from the cycle at one time, we believe it created a void. A void that caused the system to break down and the collapse to begin. The hope was that Glint's legacy would stabilize the cycle. We theorized these vacancies must be filled with entities that circulate and share magic rather than hoard it. Only then will the balance of magic truly become stable. Only then will Glint's legacy achieve its ultimate purpose.
The Scions of Glint are more important than we thought. Balthazar only sees them as a means to gaining power, but they could be instrumental in restoring the natural balance.
If you are, in fact, the true protector of Glint's legacy, then it's up to you to stop Balthazar from taking her. But know that he will let nothing deter him from his goal of killing the Crystal Dragon.
Taimi, get a message to Rytlock, Canuck, and Casimir. There's a spire south of the skimmer camp, tall enough for Keel's airship to moor. Tell them to meet me there.
Commander, you must leave, now. I can feel the Forged approaching. If you are able to find Kesho, then I failed to adequately conceal the entrance. I must close the entrance forever. This portal will allow you to return safely to the surface.
But what about you?
I will keep my pledge to protect this sacred place with my life. I am at peace. Farewell, Commander.